Hello, my name is Kevin Kearns and I'm the Vice President for Exhibits here at OMSI. And for those of you who don't know what OMSI is the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry. Now, OMSI's been around for about 70 years, and throughout this whole period we've been dedicated to creating engaging experiences for people for Portland, Oregon, and actually the entire Northwest. Now, the reason why we provide these experiences is because we love science, but it's also because we have this hope that through science that we'll be able to inspire everybody to dig a little bit deeper, to learn a little bit more, and to hopefully use the science they learn to improve their lives, but also eventually the lives of all the people of Oregon and actually the entire Northwest. So this has been something that we've been doing for a long time, but the way that we've continued to be successful is by constant change. And that's why I'm excited to be here, because we're going to be asking your help to make the next big shift for us. In one of our biggest halls, one of our biggest exhibition halls called the Turbine Hall, it's the oldest hall in the building, the hall that's been dedicated to physical science, physics, and chemistry since we started. It's that hall that we're going to be renovating next. And we want to figure out how to do it that would best meet the needs of our changed society and continually changing society. And what we've decided is that we'd like to shift the way that we address those sciences. We want to shift it, instead of being about the sciences themselves, it's going to be about problems and how science can help us solve those problems. And we call that design. So we're going to be focusing the entire hall around design. And we'd like your help to figure out how to do it. The first set of challenges that we're going to be asking the public to do, the first set of exhibits that we're going to develop, are going to be around challenges in transportation. We're calling the section of the hall Move. And to be honest, that's just about all we know about it, is that we're going to call it Move. We'd like your help to figure out what it might be. What kinds of challenges might we provide for our visitors? What kinds of experiences? What kinds of exhibits? So the challenge that we set to you today, that we hope that you all take on, is to develop an exhibit that explores the topic of transportation, a puzzle, a challenge of transportation, and that provides tools and experiences that visitors here to OMSI can undertake to try and solve that challenge. Now, the challenge can be any sort, from frivolous to serious, from getting your clothes out of the closet to bringing your mom to the hospital. We'd like you guys to set up a challenge and provide experiences and opportunities for visitors to OMSI to try and solve that puzzle and then to test their solution. So the next move is up to you guys. Now we're in actually the Turbine Hall, the place that I was talking about. I want to bring you down here to show you just some of the assets that we have that when you're creating your exhibits that you can consider. We want to have exhibits that provide a challenge to visitors that they can then devise a solution for and that they can then test. Now, your option in developing these exhibits is to think of using our own test beds like these ones. There are two water test beds, one that has a flow of air going across the top of it, the other one which is static. Those are two things that we have as assets that can be used to test the solutions to the problems that you give to our visitors. But we have other ones too. We have shake tables that move like an earthquake, and if you had a challenge around how transportation happens in an earthquake, you could use those. But we also have laminar airflow. It's a tabletop about this big that air flows vertically out of. And each of these are just the opportunity for visitors to test their solutions. So you can either use these or you can come up with your own. You can even have the visitors test their solutions in the real world. It'll be up to you, but know that there are some assets. We're now in the tech lab. Now, this is the space where we do sort of building and tinkering. It's the kind of space where our visitors come and really get hands-on with materials. It's also in the turbine hall, the space we were talking about before. Additionally, it's the place where we've actually started developing these challenge-based experiences for our visitors. That's pretty cool to get them to start to play with the different challenges that we provide for them. But we haven't really started doing the kind that we're talking about, those on transportation. And that's why we want you to help us. We want you to be thinking about where it might go in the turbine hall. And so we should probably go look at that to see where we're talking about making the transition. So this is it. This is the iconic turbine hall, the oldest part of our museum and kind of my favorite. You can see it's a vast space, super cool. And this is a space that we're renovating. And this is the space that we're asking you to help us figure out what to do in. So let me give you a little bit more context. So we're going to be sort of redoing all of this to focus on challenges. But we've actually decided more than just what we've talked about so far, more than just move. We actually have a series of challenges that we're going to be focusing on throughout the hall. The first, as I mentioned, is on this end, right near where I'm standing, and that's the move area. But about halfway down the hall, we're going to be focusing on wear, the technologies of how we clothe and protect ourselves from the elements. And at the far end of the hall, another thing that we're famous for is how we build in Portland. So that area is going to be called Build, and it's going to be focusing on that. So this is our first area, move, but we hope to go down the hall and we'll have the similar challenge as we have now of what kinds of experiences are we going to provide for our visitors. So you guys are helping us kick off what's going to be a total renovation of this hall. It's going to be awesome, but we need your help.